Welcome back to the channel, man. This is a special one, man. Shout out to my homie Sensei, J Sensei, man. Sensei J, whatever you want to call him, man. Real gamer. Put his link in the bio. Make sure y'all click this link. Go subscribe. Real gamer. We got to support gamers out here. Today, man, we got to talk about Xbox, man. Like, what went wrong with Xbox? A more personal feeling is like two black men. How do we feel about Sarah Bonds kind of like being a scapegoat? you know Hopefully the audio mix and everything as well. We'll see. If it's not, you probably never see this. If it is, we're good. uh Sensei, man, you've been a lifetime Xbox fan. I've known this guy for pretty much most of my life. Met him in middle school, been my dog ever since. Always been team Xbox, man. Always been in the brand and the ecosystem. um you know so I
I've
value his
always been there.
opinion. All right, yeah, I'm basically asking, as a lifetime and lifelong, Xbox fan, how do you feel about the current state of the brand? Do you feel like Phil Spencer and Sarah Bonds deserve the goal? How do you feel about the new lady, Asha? Her background in AI, some of her interacting online with some of the Xbox community. What are your thoughts on the brand, man?
I feel like the brand is just literally self-imploding. Sarah Bond and Phil literally just saw the writings on the wrong. I mean, the writings on the wall. I feel like they were basically the scapegoats for the sorry ass way Xbox has been handled in the last
Mm,
2 years with the whole our exclusives going to PlayStation and PC and literally all our value going down the dump in terms of longevity and exclusivity and just value as a Xbox gamer. And all these changes just them trying to save face for this sorry ass brand because they are not. This is not a good look all across the board. Game Pass is not special.
yeah.
None of our exclusives is special. We got Fable and Gears of War E-Day, and that's like two games that supposedly we're like really looking forward to. And even if those games are perfect,
Mm-hmm.
like so what? We got
Mm,
two games out of what? It's basically two generations of consoles versus PlayStation and Nintendo's large library of cult classics like Days Gone and Last of Us and God of War, and we're sitting here with fucking Redfall, fucking Redfall. Like, yo, we got Redfall and Starfield, which Starfield is decent. I'll give it that, but it's not just nothing to write home about.
yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, Avowed was okay, but I'm just not impressed. I'm just not
Yeah,
impressed.
personally, I love Starfield. I think it's a very solid game, but I think the way they handled it is really a disgrace to the fans like me that do stand by the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those
Right.
guys like that stay, hey, Starfield is a pretty good game, but when you kind of go radio silent for damn near a year like they have, I understand they got a big update coming and they're putting it on PS5 as well. I just feel like you're not really in a position to do that. I feel like if the DLC would have hit, okay, cool. You guys aren't that silence. You aren't the right to go quiet and
Right.
lock in. But the DLC just simply wasn't that. It was kind of a very big letdown for me, um, and it was disappointing because it took a lot of, let's say, momentum from the game, if you will. I think that's the right
I
word. They
completely
kind of
agree.
killed the momentum for it, and that's never good, especially when it's already a mixed game. A lot of people wanted a lot of people wanted Elder Scrolls 6 by now, and they feel like, why did you waste your time on Starfield instead of working on the Elder Scrolls 6? And to a certain degree, yeah, I can understand, but I'll go back even further and say, why would you put out a Fallout 76 instead of working on the Elder Scrolls?
Right. I mean, like both of those experiences, like you can say Fallout 76 had a resurgence or they bounced back, but as a,
Took
I
too
would say like
long.
just as optics go, the game isn't well received. Like you fixing a game 4 years after release or 3 years after release is just not a good expectation. That's not a good standard to be having.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Especially for a benchmark series like Fallout. And
yeah,
I agree
I
with
agree.
like the whole fucking Starfield like argument with Elder Scrolls. I would much rather have Elder Scrolls, and I feel like they only came out with Starfield because it was an easy port to make off of the Skyrim engine or whatever Bethesda uses to create their games, I think it was just an easy cash grab because I feel like they just wanted to know like what could they get off with. Like if they did come out with Elder Scrolls 6, it's gonna be a huge profit, but will it be PR well received? And I think like that's what they were trying to do with Starfield to see how low could they go. And they saw like, if y'all just recreate basically Skyrim in space, like that's just not gonna make anybody impressed or happy long term. Like that's just like we all know Skyrim has a good engine, like that system of picking up items and just that RPG system of Skyrim and Fallout, like those 3 games, like ecosystem is shared. That style is good. Like it's a solid foundation. But if you've been playing it for 2 damn decades.
Yeah.
It's 2 fucking decades.
Yeah, I think a lot of people definitely wanted something new and revolutionary from them. When I play Skyrim, that remains to be one of my all-time favorite games. But just the concept of, hey, I see this really cool spot in the distance, or this village, this smoke, this mountain, and I can go there. And usually when I get there, I'm rewarded. I think that's really what set the Elder Scrolls series as a whole apart. When you get Starfield, it's like you see this really cool spot, and if anybody can say this is me, I fully surveyed over close to 200 planets. That's a lot of planets to fully survey, and I'm not going to pretend like I didn't enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't have done it. But the fact is, it's not really much interesting there. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's not much there, and you lean on that procedural generated stuff, and it's like that's not what I love you guys for. I love you guys for handcrafted shit. I love you for Riverwood. I love you for Whiterun. I need these locations.
The ruins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I love you for all of that.
Thematic shit. And we only got a taste of that with like the Crimson Desert and the Vanguard's like quest lines, and I don't know. Everything else just fell short.
Yeah. How do you feel about it coming to PlayStation? I'm personally excited for it. I think it's gonna be $50 for the regular edition. Have an update. I probably won't get that $70 edition, which includes the DLC, because I don't care about Shattered Space. But if they do come with a new DLC that's actually pretty good, I will be tempted. A lot of people, I guess this is going to lead into my next question. Do you feel exclusives matter? With Starfield being gone, I feel like that was one of the last like really dope games on Xbox that wasn't anywhere else besides PC. And with that leaving, a lot of people have been asking and saying exclusives are not important. Now, to me, exclusives have always been important. Especially growing up, low income household, you can't afford every console as a kid. My mom, we got to choose one. So with us choosing one, which console got the games we care the most about that we want to prioritize? And for me, that was stuff like Halo, Gears of War, Forza. So I hate,
very replayable. Same here, because if I was going to play a game, I would play a game. If I was going to buy a single player game, it would be like an Assassin's Creed where you have a lot of exploration and time to kill in said game. I'm not going to buy something like, for example, Last of Us, which is just going to be like a 7-hour cool experience, cool nonetheless, but I'm not going to get the most out of my dollar back then. I'd rather buy Assassin's Creed 3 or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I just think exclusives do matter. That's why I went out and bought my Nintendo Switch 2. I seen stuff like Donkey Kong, Bonanza. I seen DLS, which isn't in any other consoles, and I say, hey, those are dope features. Those are really good games that are exclusive to this platform. I'm going to go spend that money. I don't know if I'll be inclined to buy the next Xbox, even with the PC storefronts and stuff like that. It's cool, but depending on what the price is, I have a feeling it's going to be close to 1,000 and up, probably more than 1,000, right? I feel like 700-800 is kind of my tops, and if it is 1,000 for next gen, I'm not going to complain about it, depending on like what the power to performance the price is. But it's just the fact that I'm personally not in a rush for next gen. We got GTA 6 dropping. I want to see these consoles sit here for a little while longer. We had COVID and stuff like that. The Switch 2 just got here, giving some competition to Sony in Japan. PS5 Pro just got here, getting updated. So I'm not in a rush for a new generation, but if a PC storefront and Game Pass is really all you have to sell me on for your next console, I can't sit here and pretend and say with a straight face I'm super excited to continue to invest on the hardware side of Xbox. And I feel like the hardware this gen, on paper, it was fantastic. I'm not going to downplay the X. It has great features that I enjoyed. whether it's quick resume, auto HDR, you know, the backwards compatibility. It's a really solid console, but it feels like they kind of gave up on the console at some point throughout the generation. It just feels like they kind of was like, okay, these are not selling. We're just gonna kind of throw the flag in. And you know, you got Sarah Bonds being scapegoated, saying, "Oh, it's look that Play Everywhere initiative was started before Sarah Bonds became president of Xbox." Let's get that clear. So that don't make sense. Phil already was in 2022 exactly. And 2023 mentioning mobile, mentioning gamers playing on their phones. That's the reason they went after Activision to begin with, because it had King and, you know, Candy Crush and stuff like that. So, you know, do you feel like Phil Spencer, it was time for him to move on? Were you fed up?
I feel like it was definitely, yeah, I was definitely fed up with him. I feel like the general consensus with him was we were not making any more progress. Like, he definitely started well. Like, we all liked him at first with Game Pass and his presentations with the what do you call those, like Xbox showcases, yeah. Like, he had like a really good presence, I feel like, at the very beginning. But when it started hitting towards that midpoint with this bullshit about bringing our games to every platform and him honoring PlayStation's Call of Duty exclusivity, just all that little bullshit like that he was doing. It was pissing me off. And whether or not it was him or not, he's still the face of it. So I'm not about to save this nigga. Like, you the face of the decisions of, oh, let's bring our exclusives to PlayStation and PC day one. If not, like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah,
and the nigga want to leave.
Yeah. See, yeah, I rock with Phil because I feel like he definitely saved Xbox in a way. But yeah, that to me, that was definitely a coward and bend the knee move. Whether it came from him or at the top with Satya, which I feel like Satya did have his hands in a lot of shit. That's a cowardly move, man. If you really cared about your ecosystem, man, Call of Duty exclusive to PC and Xbox would have moved so many consoles. Same thing if, you know, as soon as you got Bethesda, put them to work on some Fallout remakes and remasters. Imagine if they remade New Vegas and the only place you can play it is on PC and on Xbox. To me, that builds competition. I know people be like, well, that's not good. You know, games should be everywhere. No, as a console gamer, I feel like they don't. You know, consoles is getting more expensive than ever. So if you want me to invest in your brand, you need to have some really dope incentives that I can only get there to really make it make sense. Because if it don't make sense at this point, it's just nostalgia and, I don't know, just kind of like being delusional to a certain degree.
That's how I feel. I mean, we're not really moving the needle in any of our series. And if you think you are, well, I better see you on that shit. Because the numbers ain't numbering. The numbers ain't looking good for Halo Infinite or Gears of War, any of the games that we used to have that were glorious in the multiplayer department.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. And those are some really key franchises that I feel like should never fumble. Halo should never be dormant. Halo fans should never be questioning the future of the franchise like we are. And I'm excited for Campaign Evolved. I'm really excited for that. That's probably one of my most anticipated games. But even then, like, that's a remake. That's the same thing people make fun of, you know, PlayStation doing, making remakes and stuff like that. I'm not one of those guys because personally, I enjoy a good remake. I like my games being brought up to date for whatever my consoles can do. Now, if it's free or a free update, then, you know, that's all the better. But, you know, I think we all know we live in a world where these companies are greedy. So it's kind of like, you know, you hope for the best. But, you know, if you really enjoy the game and you really want to play it in the best version of it, I'm not going to mind spending a little money on it. But I feel like some multiplayer in there would have been nice. The fact that it's only single player kind of makes, you know, raise a little eyebrows, because multiplayer with Halo has always went hand in hand with the single player. So
exactly. And it's just, I don't know, man. They just do so many things that just wreak out like corporate greed. Like, you know what I mean, just the way they handled Halo Infinite, where, you know, the multiplayer is free for some reason, but the campaign isn't. The campaign is supposed to be like a full price experience, and you niggas don't have any firefight No horde mode, no. You didn't even have co-op on release, and
Yeah,
this is
that's
what
very
you're
true.
trying
No
to
local co-op to this day.
exactly, and like this is what they're trying to push as their benchmark exclusive to us when we've already played
And don't
games.
forget, it had to get delayed because its original showing it looked like shit. And I think that's another thing
Mm-hmm.
where I'm pissed off at Xbox right now because it's like, okay, Phil Spencer leaves, Sarah Bonds leave, cool. I'm all about bringing in new faces. Like, I think it was time for a change, right? But you keep some of the people that was around for some of these mishandlings of the studio and even promote them. Like, what do Matt Booty even do? He's the head of the Xbox Studios or whatever the fuck you want to give him that title, right? Dude, Phil Spencer can't do it all. Sarah Bond can't do it all. So you put people like him in these positions to go check on these studios, like the Initiative or any of these studios, and make sure they're getting the right resources and help that they need. If he was doing his job that he's been titled with, a lot of these studios wouldn't cease to exist. You wouldn't see so
Mm-hmm.
many games getting canceled.
Cough,
So
res, high res,
yeah, exactly.
or
So
hi-fi. I mean, hi-fi
yeah.
rush.
So the fact that he's still there, it don't really give me too much. Like I don't really know how excited I can be about that. You know, 'cause I feel like a lot of these studios have been mishandled. Whether it's 343, even the Coalition. I'm excited as hell for E-Day, but come on, man, it's almost been a whole generation. You haven't did anything. You put out a half-ass Gears 1 remaster, remake, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The least they could have did is fully remake that from the ground up. I would have really appreciated that. They didn't even do that. They didn't do the bare minimum.
No, they didn't even make two. And like, whenever you go on the store of Xbox, all everybody was asking for was a
Yeah,
two remake. And instead of getting what we wanted, like you prioritizing Xbox, you guys basically said fuck the actual home community, and we're just gonna try to get more money from the PlayStation crowd. I can't imagine how much profit you got from those niggas, because it's not like a Gears
not
1's a
much
really
outside
good
of a few
standpoint.
games. I mean, I guess they games sell well, but for Gears, it didn't sell too well at all. I think it's sold better than Xbox for sure. With them pushing, renting games over owning your shit. Um,
Right.
I
It's
think
just the
I think it's so
optics. You
well
know what I'm saying?
there.
Like you're re-releasing something full price for them that we already got, and then we have to repay for it. I mean, granted, if you already have Ultimate Edition, you get it for free. But at the same time, it's like you had the opportunity to go above and beyond, and you didn't.
Yeah,
Why? Because you don't give a fuck. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you just don't give a fuck about the actual IP or the consumers. You just want to make money. And like sure, like PlayStation is good for the multiplayer health of the game, but you doing
you
it
didn't
like
even nail
this.
that right though. I heard a lot of
Yeah,
people
that's what I'm saying.
complaining
Like,
about
this
the
don't make no
multiplayer in there.
sense. Like, this would have made more sense if y'all niggas did like a Master Chief collection and came out with Gears 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah, now
so that
that you
these
wouldn't have
niggas
heard
could
me
be caught up
complaining about.
for E-Day.
Yeah,
So we all could have been caught up, and we all could have had fun. The PlayStation niggas could have slowly but surely got acquainted with every multiplayer and every campaign, and slowly got induced into the community. Instead, they're starting from Gears 1, and then they're going snack dab to the end of the newest Gears. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, for everybody. Like, so we get to play the old Gears while simultaneously being used to the newer ones, while the new guys are gonna get the old one and then smack dab right into like the newest one, which I guess is okay because it's a prequel. But I don't
yeah,
know.
I think it still would have been nice though to have all three gears. I feel like that's definitely the bare minimum, especially when you're not going above and beyond with the graphics. It's not even Unreal Engine 4 or 5. I think it's like, what is it, still 3? Just I don't even know what in it just. This is a really sharp ass, crispy 360 game. You didn't do anything other than that, which is cool if you would have did it to all three games. But the fact that you only did it to the first game, which is, one could argue the weakest of them, as far as story and the amount of depth that the story can go. I'm like, man, I don't know, man. You definitely could have did more with that. So that was a disappointment as well.
Especially when we know how much you can do. You guys redid the whole Master Chief collection,
Yep.
and then y'all hit Gears with this half-ass treatment. Like, we know what y'all can do. So why are we getting the same remaster all over again? It doesn't really move the needle for Xbox. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Doesn't really make a lot of sense at all. Um, so how do you feel about the new CEO, Asher? To give you a little context, Xbox fanboys are already trying to build like this parasocial social media like bond with her, kind of like they did with Phil. Which with Phil Spencer, I didn't mind because Phil Spencer was kind of like a boots on the ground at showcases, taking pictures with people. I'm not saying she's not going to be like that, but she hasn't done anything yet for you guys to be trying to be her friend and for her to be following people in the community. Because I've seen her following some of the same guys that got flew out like thoughts to play Redfall, came back and told the whole Xbox community this is the next best game ever. And then when it turned out and got horrible reviewed, they flipped on Xbox and was like, yeah, this is unacceptable. Why not be honest when you're in the room like, hey, this might need some work. This might need some. Because if I get invited out to, like, let's say, Halo Studios ask me to come play something and I play Halo and it's rough around the edges, I'm going to tell them it's rough around the edges. And I'm going to tell them, hey, for full transparency, I'm going to let them know about these problems I experience. And I'm pretty sure they will appreciate that so they can work and fix things. But when you just go there and glaze and act like it's just this, that, and the third, it's like, what are you doing? Those are not the, I say all that to say, those are not the people that the new Xbox CEO should be, following, interacting with. A lot of these guys don't even game. I think that's really important to mention. I feel like when you gotta hide your gamer tag, that's kind of a red flag. What are you hiding from? Especially if you're just a regular gamer, then okay, cool. But if you're gonna be on YouTube and broadcasting these horrible takes to thousands of people, the least you can do is have a public, gamer tag so people are gonna be like, hey, well, let me go see if this guy played this or not, or something like that. I don't understand a lot of these guys, but she's tweeting saying, hey, we're not gonna make AI slop, this, that, and the third, which to me it sounds good on paper, but she just hired some people for some positions. Shout out to Mr. Matty Plays and Cognito from the Iron Lord podcast. Mr. Matty Plays mentioned that she's already hiring people for certain positions at Xbox that come from an AI background. And if Satya Nadella literally stated, stop calling AI slop. So he's going to back to defend AI. He hires somebody who comes from a background of, playing a lot with AI. And then she's hiring people. So it's like, you saying you're not going to have AI slop. It's like, that sounds good. I get it. AI is important nowadays with tools and helping people, these devs move along. I don't mind it being used as a tool, but I don't want AI generated games. Like you ask AI, hey, make this island. No, I don't even like procedurally generated stuff. I just mentioned that earlier about Starfield. I'm missing the home touch of a hand. You know what I'm saying? Like I want handcrafted experiences. Do you feel like they're going to be leaning heavily into AI?
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, you've already seen the industry with the whole RAM being completely used for like damn near, was it like 40% corporate? Like,
Okay.
Microsoft is one of the biggest computer manufacturers, and they're part of that deal. And they're definitely doing it for themselves. So it's like, at the end of the day, AI is here to stay, and I feel like they're realizing that that is not the solution to the problems that they have in abundance, and that I feel like they're realizing that to a certain degree. But let's be honest, Xbox has never been a grounded they're never grounded with us. Like they're never level-headed about anything that has been, even like Phil, like back when he made Game Pass, he just created an environment where I couldn't completely call him out on this bullshit, but it was still a lot of bullshit. Like I don't think they're gonna pull it off, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. Something that did rub me the wrong way was how Sarah Bond was done, especially during Black History Month. I feel like she's been training under Phil Spencer for a while to, kind of take the wheel. I don't know if they passed over her and then she was like, yo, I'm out. I got better things to do. I don't know if she was like, all right, Phil, leaving early. I just don't know. Something just seems fishy around it. It was a hit piece article from The Verge put on her saying that people found her difficult to work with and they didn't like this push that she had going and this, that, and the third. And I just felt like like let's just blame her. Let's just blame everything was kind of put on the black woman. That's how I felt, personally. That might rub people the wrong way, but it's just if you're not from the culture, then you wouldn't understand. But if you are, you got mothers, sisters, cousins. It just didn't feel right to me. Shit right with me, man. Just fuck wrong, man. And what was really sad to me is the amount of people that dick roll every single thing she did. Now, I've been on record on my personal podcast, Aim Down Sights. Check that out every Saturday. Link will be in the description for that too. A lot of people agreed with her and Phil every single move along the way, whether it's play everywhere, the game's leaving, and just this is an Xbox campaign, stuff like that. These guys agreed with every single move. They pulled out pom-poms and did gymnastics to make sense of everything. And then the moment she's gone, they pile in on her too. And I want to send shots at some of the black content creators in the Xbox community and just the gaming community as a whole. You guys, that seemed like mad cowardly, man. Because a lot of you guys was, like I said, cheerleading and pom-poms, shaking booty for Matt Booty, doing all type of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then you turn around and you turn around and just act like everything they did was wrong. Was like, wow. Now let me know you guys are just gonna, no matter who's in that position, no matter if they're doing good, you're gonna dick ride them and never call them out on their shit. And every decision they make is for the better of gaming and for the brand. And then if they gone, you're gonna flip that stance and go with whoever is in that seat. And to me, that's not how you get better, man, as a community. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people be like, oh well, at least Xbox CEOs and stuff interact with the community and stuff like that. Sony CEOs don't do nothing. Nintendo, and I'm like, well, that's because they're at work. They're at fucking work delivering us they're delivering us good products. Look, I don't need the fucking Mario team to fucking talk to me about anything on Twitter. I don't need them going sitting down doing interviews with Nintendo fanboys and shit like that. I need you working, bringing me good games, good marketing, good stuff like that. That's what I need. I give two fucks about just hearing you chat and say a bunch of corporate shit, or just cooling around on social media. Yeah, man. So say all that to say, man, the future of Xbox is definitely interesting, man. It's a lot to be concerned about and skeptical about. Always ask questions and never feel ashamed. Because look, man, people is gonna be calling me a fucking pony and a Nintendo dick rider, and I'm a traitor and this, that, and the third, disliking the video, whatever the fuck they do. But you guys are the problem with the gaming industry. The people that don't question anything, that just lay down and just, for lack of better terms, just dick ride. That shit not cool. Since moving on from PlayStation, I give my current thoughts. I mean, not PlayStation. I give my current thoughts on PlayStation. Since we're moving on from Xbox, PlayStation, man. I think they got a good lineup coming this year. I think Marvel tokens look pretty good. I already pre-ordered Cyros. I'm excited for Wolverine. But, they make a lot of dumbass decisions too. Like, I don't know if you've seen that game they got coming for Loop. Like, all this live service crap that they're doing, man, that they need to get rid of that shit. I think home and hosts need to be fired too, the same way Jim Ryan was let go. I think they need to go back to their roots. Now, they are doing things that I like. They saying they're going to be putting less games on PC. I think that's, to me, I'm not mad at it. I know a lot of PC people are mad at it, but I think, nothing is wrong with making your fans that go out and support you every generation for 20, 30, 40 years have things that can only be in that ecosystem and on that hardware. If you don't understand that, then, I respect your opinion. I'm not going to ever try to force anybody to see, and just agree with me. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. You think every game should be everywhere? And, that's cool. I respect your opinion. But for me, I respect Sony pulling back. I think all multiplayer games should be everywhere. I'll stand on that. Helldiver, stuff like that. Personally, I think it makes sense. But as far as the next Wolverine game, nah, keep that on PlayStation forever. Let it be on PlayStation 6 and PlayStation 5 only, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just me personally. And people be like, oh, well, they're wasting money. They're wasting money. Sometimes it's about more than money, man. It's about your brand, how you're viewed. Nintendo could put Mario or Zelda on PlayStation tomorrow and print millions, probably billions.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. I don't got nothing right now.
That nigga impaled me and then fucking like threw my ass.
Hey, thermite grenades got him. But yeah, man,
kill me.
I think it's good to have exclusives, man. I like that I can only play Donkey Kong on the Switch. It gives me a reason to invest and feel proud about my hardware. And I like that I'm only gonna be able to play Wolverine on my PS5 Pro and PS5 this year. It makes me feel good about my investment. Personally, that's just how I feel. Now, do you think Xbox should go back exclusive? We know they probably won't, but do you think would they be able to win you back if they'd be like, hey, Gears E-Day is gonna be exclusive? I feel like it's hard because they already announced it for other platforms. So every game that's coming is already gonna be on PlayStation. But going forward after these next few games, if they go back and make everything only on Xbox, would you be pro that? I personally would. I think they should have did that off rip with buying Bethesda and Activision
I don't
anyway.
think you can even go back at this point.
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah, definitely can't.
What's the point at this point? Like, what's the standard has already been broken. If they already did it before, they're gonna do it again. And if they do pretend like it's an exclusive, they're just gonna pretend like they can act like it's an exclusive for 4 or 5 years and then just release it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's just that trust is gone. Like I mean,
Yeah.
even PlayStation did it, but at least it was only on PC. They didn't they had Helldivers or whatever, but this is like a literal multiplayer only game. I could see it if it's a multiplayer focus,
Yeah, we needed them reinforcements. I ain't mad at that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a multiplayer game. That's how you get your success, but it's completely different with Xbox. We ain't really doing that. Like, if we were gonna do that, why didn't we do that with Halo Infinite? And then we do it with Gears when we realized we can't sustain Halo anymore, and now we're just kind of bending the knee at this point.
Yeah,
everything
I agree.
is to save face and revenue, but like every decision that they make ain't for the benefit of us. It's for them to make more money, and it don't go nowhere into the gaming industry for Xbox because look at where we are. We don't have anything to show. So even if they did go back to being exclusive, whoop-de-doo.
Right.
Thugs, whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo. All right, so how you feel about PlayStation as a whole? You think they're in a good spot? You think they need to dial back on the dumbass decisions like Concord and are you excited for Marathon? Because I feel like we're both excited for that and super hyped to get in that.
PlayStation's at a good place. Honestly, it's all about your competition, and the optics is Xbox's ass, so PlayStation is by default. It's by default winning. Like that's just how it's been going. Like PlayStation is good because Xbox is bad. So it's just like they can't get good PR to save their own ass. And it's just like with that.
That's a funny ass way to put it, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I had to put it like who's doing the best, I would probably say Nintendo, because they have every single
for sure.
Like everything they ever did is still kicking. Like Mario, fucking Luigi's Mansion, Mario Kart, Mario Tennis. Everything they ever did is still coming out with more shit, and it's not compromised, and it's not overly released. Like it's not yearly. It's not, you're not getting a Mario Super Bros every fucking year. So
right.
Obviously we could have did this correctly. Why we didn't, I'll never fucking know. But yeah, that's how I feel about PlayStation. I'm excited for Marathon. I love Bungie. As far as like multiplayer experiences go, at least somebody's doing something new, even if it is late into the extraction shooter genre with the whole Arc Raiders popping off and everything. I still feel like Marathon has its place, and so does Arc, and they can coexist. and we can all have fun. And I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Very excited for Marathon, and yeah, I don't think anywhere place. I don't think even when PlayStation closes a studio, there's nowhere but up. You know, who cares if they closed the Demon Soul fucking studio Bluepoint? It's still like, what is Xbox doing over there? They're out there, you know, shutting studios down that they had success with. So it's like, yeah, I mean, they're seeing that across the board. So even if you would point out any of PlayStation's shortcomings, there's too many abundance on the other side to really have your eyeball on. Yeah, I mean, the good ponies over here.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty much the state of the industry for Sensei. You know, for me, man, I feel like, you know, Xbox, you know, they're back in another wait and see situation. I feel like it's been multiple generations of wait and see. Me personally, I'm tired of waiting and seeing.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to be investing more into the PlayStation ecosystem and to the Switch ecosystem as well. I think the Switch is a really great console. And, you know, with all these third-party games looking and running good on the Switch, you know, you got Fallout, really good port. You got Cyberpunk running good. This is a handheld hybrid console. Resident Evil Requiem looking really good. For all these super intensive games to look good, I can only imagine how the next Zelda is going to look. The next Mario is going to look. The, you know, Metroid looked fantastic, and that was a cross-gen game. It was a Switch 2 game as well. So I can't wait to see how that looks, you know, on built for the ground up just for the Switch. So yeah, it's a lot to be excited for in these other places. I don't see too much to be excited with for Xbox, and that's just the honest truth as a lifelong fan.
You know. That nigga H3, that nigga just pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah, H3 pissing you off. I got you.
That nigga blew up my fucking robot like a fucking dumbass. Nigga low key been shooting me in my back the whole fucking time. I'm sick of this nigga. Fucking pussy.
He out of there.
My bad, Jay.
Nah, you good. Hey, Lieutenant Nero will get him going real quick and survive doing it in the process. These young bucks, well, your little young buckaroo, you don't know no better. Need to get out of level 10s. This level 10, baby boy. This ain't oh damn. Yo, we. That's me, man. That's unfortunate.
This is pure comedy with these dumb fucks. Yo. I swear to
God. Yo, that's funny as fuck. But yeah, man. I'm excited for Marathon, man. I'm excited to see. And look, that Pokemon game that just dropped, the little cozy vibe type one, that's sitting at an 89 on Metacritic. No, 88 on Metacritic. So, really good review game. Something, I don't know if I'm going to pay 70 for that, but it does look like a really fun, addictive game. Maybe me and my lady will get it and something we can play together. Play with my daughter, shit like that. It looks like a cool little cozy game. So, it's a lot to be excited for. I think Xbox is a publisher. It's a lot to be excited for. I'm not going to pretend like, oh, they don't got some games coming that I'm excited for. Did you piss that guy off or something, man? He in the chat.
Yeah. Look at Gil, man. Some blue as us.
Let's see if you come back on Doom.
Like, how the fuck you don't see me, you dumb fuck?
Get out of there, Jay. I got some big shit coming down. Oh, you already back? Good. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. This is, you know, if you like this style video, man, I was just chopping it up, gaming, man. You know, real gamers talk. You know.
Oh man, chilling like a vent. Oh man,
you know,
chilling.
And you know, definitely come in and hit that like button. Let us know. Subscribe. You know, whoop-de-doo. And we'll keep this content coming, man.
I think. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sure, man. It's been your boy Nero. It's been your boy Sensei. I don't know. Maybe Xbox is heading to the graveyard, man. But no, let me chill, man. This is just, yeah, you know, everybody gonna be so mad and shit, clipping shit. You know, if I make it to your pod and you talking about this, hey man, I'm happy I can bring you some content, man. Something like that. I know a lot of people be sensitive when they tell the truth about these consoles, but You know, and don't get it wrong, yo. Fuck Sony for closing Blue Point. That was Sensei opinion on them closing Blue Point, but me personally, I don't agree with that. So let me double down on that too. Them motherfuckers, you should have kept Blue Point. You had them niggas. That's why I say Home and Host need to go, because even though they haven't put out shit like recently, that's because you niggas had them working on a dumbass God of War live service game that got canceled. Even if they said, yo, we want to do this. Like, you should say, okay, but we also want you remaking Infamous. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, but we also want you, doing something. You just had them working on that with no backup plan. That kind of shows a deeper level to me, from the top, like with mismanagement. The same shit I knocked Phil Spencer and Sarah Bonds in them for. So, they don't get no pass. We stand on every neck that deserve to be stood on around here. We got our preferences. But some companies, Xbox, Microsoft, just fuck up more than others. So, I mean, it's, and then every time it is some bad fucking Sony news, here you guys come doing some fucking shit to take the light off of it. I would have been on fucking, this whole video would have been about Sony and Blue Point. But, Sarah Bonds get fucking scapegoated. She steps down. Phil Spencer retire. You put this AI lady in there. And, it's how the cookie crumble. But hey, man, hit that like button, subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one.
Type shit. Peace out.